Well, hi there. Glad to have you back. If you're new around here, I'm Gerard, Witch of Earth's Curious Goods, and today I thought I would do a video on love. And if you've ever been in a situation where you have a crush on someone and you just don't know how to talk to them, or maybe you just aren't very lucky in love, try out this spell today that I'm about to show you. It's a simple love spell. So if this sounds interesting to you, or if any of those things resonated with you, keep on watching. And without further ado, let's begin. Okay, so I just want to begin with just a few things. When I designed this spell is created with my gnosis, my knowledge of what love is. And so I would highly recommend you start with that. You start with what you think love is. How do you feel about love? I would probably get a foundation of that. Not the, like, I have to have you type of love. That might be a little too intense. This spell is to help you out, right? So keep in mind with the love spells that I'm going to show you in today's video and the next few videos that'll be coming out. It is based around not being able to affect free will, because I'm a firm believer that you can't really control free will. So what my spells, my love spells, are designed to do is basically help tempt your target, basically to help them see you over others, to be more attracted to you, but not in the aspect of where it forces them to be attracted to you or forces them to love you. I just don't believe that magic has the capabilities to do that. Well, technically, I guess, in a way, I guess it could, but you would have a zombie or sort of like a robot type of lover. I'm not so sure that's such a great thing, and I don't think that's love. So keeping that in mind, that's what today's spell is. A simple love spell that I'm going to show you, and you're going to need a few ingredients. So I'm going to bring you closer to the table, and so that you can see the ingredients and what I'm doing. So it's hand puppet time. All right, I'll bring you guys right back. So this is a simple love spell. I wanted to keep it as simple as possible, but you still need some ingredients to make this work, okay? You're gonna need a pink candle. Today I'm using a pink candle, it's in a glass container. You can use a chime candle, a votive candle, a large pillar candle, a pink jar candle. Just get your hands on a pink candle. We're going to be using color correspondence. Pink is associated with love, that romantic love that I would highly recommend you seek out as well. Now, if maybe that's not your cup of tea, that's fine. Maybe you want more of that passionate, fiery love, you can change it to red. Or if you just can't find a pink or red candle, then I recommend at least doing a white candle and just visualize it being one of those colors to incorporate it, okay? The next thing we're going to need is some rose petals. I just happen to have pink rose petals. I just carry that in my store, so that's what I'm going to be using. If you don't have rose petals lying around, you could pretty much find it at any kind of flower shop, maybe your local Walmart. A lot of grocery stores will carry roses, but try to get some pink roses. Now, if you can't get pink roses, you can substitute it with red roses. Of course, I just went over red, the color. Why we need roses? Roses for centuries, for many years. Roses are connected to the emotion of love, and that is what we're drawing to us, right? So that emotion, that type of energy, we're seeking that. So that's why we're going to be using rose. We're going to need something to light the candle and something to inscribe on the candle. So I'm using a toothpick. You can use a needle, a sewing thread, what have you, just something sharp that you can actually inscribe into the candle. Okay, now today I'm going to be cleansing with Florida water, but you can cleanse with sound, you can cleanse with lavender or cedar, whatever method you're using to cleanse. I just prefer to cleanse with Florida water when it comes to love spells. For me personally, it just helps a lot when I'm using this. Sometimes too, I'll switch out from Florida water and I'll use Rue water as well. That's another good substitute, but I notice when I'm using waters, when it comes to love spells for cleansing, it gives it that umph. And if you guys are familiar with the element water, I am an elemental witch, so water is connected with emotions. So of course I want to incorporate that in some aspect. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll show you some optional ingredients that you can also use to give it that umph. But I just want to concentrate on just these for those that, you know, maybe you're on a budget or you can't really get your hands on a lot of materials. I just want to keep it as simple as possible. So the first thing you're going to do is cleanse your candle. Why do we cleanse? You know, I get that a lot. And the reason why we cleanse is because, especially if you're buying this from a retail location, a thrift shop, what have you, this has touched a lot of hands, right? Okay, imagine someone that is in a bad mood or just got off of work or exhausted or is unlucky in general. Imagine them just rubbing their hands all over it. The best way that I like to look at objects, and this helps you give it that cleanse thing, is think of it as having germs, okay? When you have germs around, you bleach it, you cleanse it, you use cleaners, you wash your hands, things of that nature. So that's how I see it. You're just doing a spiritual cleanse of these spiritual germs. So that's why I like to cleanse, is give it that little clearing. It's only my energy that's on top of it that is going to be utilized for this. Less interference. The less interferences that you have with your magic, the better, okay? Energy uses the path of least resistance, so we want to go ahead and help our magic out as best we can. Now you're just going to take your candle and you're going to inscribe your target's first and last name, okay? So I'm not doing this on anyone, so I'm just going to be writing John Doe. If you guys have seen my previous videos, you guys know I have a running joke with the name John Doe. Okay, perfect. All right, now that I've got John Doe's first and last name on here, I'm just going to turn my candle, going clockwise, I'm drawing in, and on the other side, I'm going to write my first and last name. Okay, now if you aren't using a candle like mine, maybe it's a chime candle, a votive candle, you're still going to turn it on the other side of the candle. You're still going to do the same thing, okay? So if it's not like a flat surface like this, maybe it's up and down, you would write it on the side of the candle. You're just going to turn the candle on the other side. You're going to write your first and last name. Now, it's super important that you know your target's first and last name. Now, if you do not know their name, you might want to rethink about loving them because you don't really know them. Imagine, you know, doing a spell on someone that doesn't know you. Can you imagine them just waking up and just thinking of you? How weird and horrible that might be. That might be a little jolting for their consciousness to, you know, suddenly want to find somebody that is like you but don't know you. Okay, so I'm a firm believer that you need to have some sort of contact with them, kind of know your target, okay, in order to cast this simple love spell. It may be simple, but it is powerful, and keep in mind you do need their first and last name. That is not optional. Okay, now all you're going to do is just take your rose petals, okay, and if you got flowers, you're going to pick it off the stem, of course. And you're just going to do a circle around your candle. Okay? And you're going to do it in a clockwise fashion because once again, we're drawing in. And when you're doing the circle, try to do it where all the petals are touching one another. Okay? If you just don't have enough petals to do that, that's perfectly fine. Just envision it, okay? Tell yourself that you're doing that. Have that intention. Right? Magic's all about intention, in my opinion. All right, so now you have your circle of rose petals, pink rose petals, red if you couldn't find pink. All right, and all you're going to do is light your candle now. Now that your candle's lit, you are going to concentrate on that person. seeing them love you, see what that looks like, how great it feels to be in a relationship with them. Just imagine, just put as much emotion into it, okay? I want you to think all the way forward as if it already has happened. I want you to envision yourself being in a house with them, married, with kids. How many kids do you have? whatever your love relationship looks like, whatever it feels to you. Get as much of that in your head, get as much of that visualization if you can. If you're not very good at visualization, you're going to say it out loud. You can maybe even write it out and then read off all of the traits of that person and what's so great about them. Once you get that completed, you see that, you feel that, all you're going to say is, what I seek, I wish to see, as I will it, so mote it be. What I seek, I wish to see, as I will it, so mote it be. What I seek, I wish to see, as I will it, so mote it be. After you're saying that spell, all you're going to do is just take a few moments, just feel the moment, feel those feelings, feel the words that you have said. After you have that, you've taken a moment, you're just going to blow out the candle as if you're blowing out birthday cake candles, right? As if you're making a wish to disperse your spell out. So all you're going to do is, I don't know how it's going to sound to you. What I always like to do is, I wish to be in a relationship with John Doe, and then I blow out the candle. And see it dispersing. I always love how there's a little bit of smoke when you blow out the candle too. I always imagine that that's my spell going out into the universe, going to make it work, make it happen, okay? Now, it's super important that you have your intention. You have to keep doing this spell every day. So obviously the candle's not burnt down. I only had it burning for a few minutes. You're gonna burn this every day. It could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, what have you, whatever time that you have, but you need to burn this every single day, at least, you know, for 2 minutes, a minute, what have you. Maybe you only have a few seconds of it, but it must be burnt every day. Do not skip a day doing that process of visualization, remembering it, and doing that. I wish to be in a relationship with John Doe, and then blow it out. Okay? And you're gonna keep doing that until it manifests. Now, let's just say that you have a chime candle. Maybe the chime candle burnt all the way down and it hasn't manifested yet. You're just going to replace that candle and begin again. But it must be burned at least a minute, 2 minutes, a few seconds every single day. If it's a chime candle, I would recommend just burning it for a few seconds, maybe a minute max per day. That way you can kind of utilize the whole candle over a longer period of time, because who knows how long it may take you to manifest. It may manifest tomorrow, it can manifest in a week, 30 days. I would give it maximum maybe 30 days and 1 day, and then if you haven't seen any movement, any changes, go ahead and scrap the spell and start over. A few things that you might want to keep in mind: it's all about intention. This spell works on intention. Magic, in my opinion, is super strong when it comes to intention. If you burn this today and then tomorrow you just feel lazy and you don't want to do it, and you accidentally forgot, or not even accidentally, maybe you purposely just did not do it the next day, but you did it the following day, it doesn't work that way. It must be burned consecutively. This is your intention. You're putting energy, you're feeding this spell, okay? Just think of this as it's a living animal. Imagine just not feeding that animal for the day, okay? That's not cool, that's not okay. And you might want to rethink why you're even doing this spell. If you do not have that dedication to do this every day, then maybe you really don't love them. Maybe you really don't need love at this moment. Maybe that's your body talking to you, your subconscious, your energy just speaking to you like you're not ready for love. So don't do the spell. Now, for those of you that have made it this far to the video, I'm going to show you how to give this a little bit of oomph to this. I'm going to show you how to give this another level to it. You're going to need some rose petal oil or essential oil or just fragrance oil, but you want that strong rose smell. I am going to be using Crown of Success. Crown of Success is just like it says, to be successful. You can also use road opener oil. That is really good because it opens the road. You want to open the road to love. And last but not least, you can also use rose water. Using all three of these items will give a huge bump to this spell, okay? But like I said, I wanted to keep it simple, so I did not show you these materials, but yes, for the rose water, if you're gonna be using that, just like how I was cleaning it with the Florida water, you will just go right behind it and put rose water, giving that energy of love, giving that energy of the rose. Crown of Success and the rose oil or essential oil, if you're using that, what I like to do is I like to take a sharp object, make 3 holes in my actual candle. If it's a chime candle, then you don't need to do that. But if it's one of these kind of candles, like a jar candle, you're going to make holes, and then you're just going to drop a 1 or 2 drops of your oils into those holes that you just made into your candle. If it's a chime candle, you don't need to do that. You would just put it onto your hand and then just rub it onto the actual chime candle, pillar candle, going upwards. I would highly recommend going upwards, because you're bringing in, you want positivity, so you're just going to rub it going upwards, okay? Same thing with the rose fragrance oil. You'll just rub that going upwards onto the pillar or the chime candle. And that's it. Give it another level of magic. Well, there you have it. A simple love spell. And if you've made it to the end of the video, I super appreciate you. And just so that I know that you've gotten to the end of the video, in the comments down below, put a little smiley face with a thumbs up. And that way I know that you reached the end of my video, and I will personally go and love it and comment on there. And I want to give a shout out to my channel member, SkinnyGal269. I super appreciate you for helping support this channel. And if you would like to support the channel, it's free to do by just hitting that like button and subscribing. My goal is to get to 10,000 subscribers. It's a lofty goal, but I want to see if I can get to that. So if you want to help me out, it's free to do. You just press that subscribe button, and if you want to be notified of any of my new videos, hit the notification bell. But I really appreciate all of you. Thank you for watching this video all the way through. By you liking and subscribing, that just lets the algorithm know that you guys like my content. This content can be shared with others on YouTube and hopefully let them have a little magic somewhere in their life. Maybe give them a little bit of hope too. I'm always about that. So, as always, stay earthy, stay magical, and until my next video, bye.